Have you ever looked up at the sky and wondered if something ancient and enormous is watching from above? The sky, after all, is a vast and mysterious place, an endless ocean of clouds and light, where secrets can hide in plain sight. For centuries, humans have gazed upward, searching for meaning in the shifting patterns, and sometimes catching glimpses of things that defy explanation. We see airliners, small planes, and hawks. But what if there's something else, hidden in plain sight for centuries? What if, above the familiar shapes of birds and machines, there's a presence so rare and so powerful that it's become the stuff of legend? Could the sky be home to a creature that has managed to elude science, yet remains deeply rooted in the stories of countless cultures? Imagine a bird so massive it could blot out the sun, its wing beats echoing as thunder. Its shadow would stretch for miles, sending shivers down the spines of those who witness it. The very air would tremble as it passed overhead, leaving behind only questions and awe. This is not just a flight of fancy. Some say it's a reality that has haunted the dreams of people for generations. This isn't just a campfire story. It's a legend that's haunted North America for generations, the Thunderbird. Around flickering fires, elders have whispered tales of this mighty being, describing its power to summon storms and its role as a guardian or omen. The Thunderbird is more than a myth. It's a symbol of nature's raw, untamed force, and a reminder that the world is still full of mysteries. From the forests of the Pacific Northwest to the deserts of Arizona, people have reported seeing a giant, impossible bird. These sightings span generations and geography, with each account adding new details to the legend. Some describe a creature with wings wider than a small airplane. Others recall the way the sky seemed to darken as it passed. The Thunderbird's reach is as vast as the land itself. These aren't just fleeting glimpses. Some encounters are detailed and terrifying, defying modern biology. Witnesses speak of feathers as long as a man's arm, talons that could snatch up deer, and eyes that seem to glow with intelligence. The fear and wonder in their voices is unmistakable, as if they've seen something that simply shouldn't exist in our world. The Thunderbird blurs the line between myth and reality, a puzzle piece that doesn't fit anywhere else. It's a creature that lives in the space between what we know and what we can only imagine. Is it a surviving relic from a prehistoric age, or a spirit that takes form when the world needs reminding of its wildness? The answers remain elusive, hidden in the mists of time and memory. So are these just stories, or could a living relic from a lost era still rule our skies? Could the Thunderbird be more than a legend, an undiscovered giant soaring above us just out of reach? The possibility is as thrilling as it is unsettling, challenging everything we think we know about the natural world. We'll dive into folklore, history, and eyewitness accounts to chase this enduring legend. We'll sift through ancient stories, examine strange reports, and listen to those who claim to have seen the impossible. Each clue brings us closer to understanding why the Thunderbird continues to capture our imagination, generation after generation. Buckle up, we're about to hunt for a creature that's captured imaginations for centuries. Our journey will take us deep into wild places, where the line between reality and legend is thin, and where every shadow in the sky could be something extraordinary. The truth might just be up there waiting for those brave enough to look and to believe.
Things you only talk about at the back of the cave.
Long before Europeans arrived, the Thunderbird was already a cornerstone of Native American belief. For many tribes, it was a supernatural protector, a bringer of rain, and a warrior against evil. Its power was elemental. Lightning flashed from its eyes, thunder rolled from its wings. The Thunderbird's image crowned totem poles, symbolizing power and protection. Legends say it lived high in the mountains, hunting mythical serpents or even whales. The Thunderbird could be both a benevolent force and a symbol of nature's wrath. These stories weren't just allegories. They explained storms, droughts, and the balance of the world. When thunder roared, it was the Thunderbird in action, not just a weather event. Its origins are woven into the continent's history, not born from a single sighting or photo. These tales provided a framework for understanding nature and humanity's place within it. From this rich mythology, the modern mystery of the Thunderbird took flight. Fast forward to 1890, Tombstone, Arizona, a town famous for wild stories, gunfights, and legends that seem to grow taller with every retelling. In this dusty frontier outpost, where the line between fact and fiction was already razor-thin, a new tale was about to take flight. According to the Tombstone Epitaph, the local newspaper, two ranchers stumbled upon something extraordinary in the desert. They claimed to have encountered and shot down a massive winged creature, described as an alligator with enormous wings, its wingspan stretching an unbelievable 160 feet across. The story captured imaginations instantly, painting a vivid picture of a monster that seemed to belong to another age. The ranchers, armed with rifles and nerves of steel, supposedly cut off a piece of the creature's leathery wing as proof. They planned to haul the carcass back to Tombstone, eager to display their trophy to the astonished townsfolk and perhaps make a name for themselves in the process. But as the story spread, details grew hazy. Was it a genuine news report, or just another tall tale spun in a town known for its wild yarns? The line between journalism and legend blurred, leaving everyone to wonder what, if anything, was real. Decades later, curious researchers and cryptid hunters scoured archives and libraries searching for the original article that started it all. Despite countless hours spent flipping through yellowed pages, no one has ever found a verifiable copy of the report. The story seemed to vanish into thin air, leaving only rumors and second-hand accounts behind. Then there's the infamous Thunderbird photograph, supposedly showing a group of cowboys posing proudly with the giant nailed-up creature. This image became the holy grail for believers, a tantalizing piece of evidence that could prove the legend true. Many people over the years have sworn they saw the photo in a magazine or an old book, describing it in vivid detail. Yet, despite these persistent memories, no copy of the photograph has ever surfaced. It remains a phantom image, always remembered, never found. Was the whole thing a clever hoax, a lost piece of history, or perhaps a collective false memory shared by thousands? The mystery only deepened as the years went by, fueling endless speculation and debate. The Tombstone Thunderbird legend became a textbook example of the Mandela effect. Shared memories of something that may never have happened at all. People from all walks of life recall the same details even though no physical evidence exists. Real or not, the story cemented the Thunderbird as a flesh-and-blood cryptid in American folklore. It inspired countless retellings, artwork, and even modern-day monster hunts, keeping the legend alive for new generations. The tale transformed the Thunderbird from a mystical spirit of Native American legend into a prehistoric survivor of the Wild West, blurring the boundaries between myth, memory, and reality. As the decades passed, the legend only grew, evolving with each retelling and adapting to the imaginations of those who heard it. In the end, the Tombstone Thunderbird became more than just a story. It became a symbol of the blurred lines between fact and fiction, a mystery that continues to haunt the American imagination. Jump to 1977 Lawndale, Illinois, a quiet suburb, a summer afternoon. The air was thick with the hum of cicadas, and the world seemed safe, ordinary, and predictable. Lawndale was the kind of place where neighbors waved from their porches and children played freely in their backyards, watched over by the gentle gaze of their parents. 10-year-old Marlon Lowe was doing just that, playing outside, his laughter echoing across the yard, when suddenly the sky darkened. Out of nowhere, two enormous dark birds swooped down, their wings casting huge shadows over the grass. In a moment that would haunt him forever, one of the birds seized Marlon by the shoulders with its powerful talons and with a shocking display of strength lifted him off the ground. For a few terrifying seconds, Marlon was airborne, dangling helplessly in the grip of a monster. His mother, Ruth, was just steps away. She watched in horror, frozen by disbelief as her son was carried several feet above the yard before the bird, struggling with Marlon's weight and his frantic kicking, finally dropped him back to earth. The commotion drew neighbors from their homes. Multiple people witnessed the attack, their faces etched with shock and fear. Chaos erupted as adults rushed to comfort Marlon and tried to make sense of what they had just seen. News of the bizarre event spread quickly. The story made national headlines. This wasn't a remote sighting in the wilderness, but a terrifying encounter in the heart of suburbia. Reporters flocked to Lawndale, eager to capture the details of this extraordinary attack. Witnesses described the birds as black, with wingspans stretching up to 10 feet, far larger than any local species. They were strong enough, it seemed, to lift a 55-pound child into the air, defying everything people thought they knew about the birds of Illinois. Ornithologists and wildlife experts were called in. Some suggested the birds were misidentified turkey vultures or perhaps escaped condors from a zoo, but the witnesses were adamant. What they saw was unlike anything in the textbooks. The size, the aggression, the sheer power, none of it fit. The Lawndale incident did more than frighten a community. It brought the ancient legend of the Thunderbird crashing into the modern era. A predator, not just a myth, stalking the skies above ordinary homes. Skeptics argued for misidentification, offering rational explanations, but the consistency and terror in the accounts kept the story alive. The witnesses' fear was real, their memories vivid and unwavering. To this day, the event remains one of the most chilling and well-documented Thunderbird encounters ever reported. It left a scar on the community, a story whispered at night when the wind howls through the trees. The Lawndale attack blurred the line between legend and reality, forcing people to question what might really be lurking above. For many, it was proof that the monster in the sky could be real, that the stories passed down through generations might have a terrifying truth at their core. The legend was no longer just folklore, it had become a living nightmare. The Thunderbird had returned, and for a moment, the sky above Lawndale belonged to a monster. What would you see if you encountered a Thunderbird? Across hundreds of reports, one thing stands out: its size. Witnesses describe wingspans from 15 to 50 feet, far beyond any known bird. Some accounts describe a giant feathered raptor, black or gray with a hooked beak and massive talons. Others report a leathery reptilian creature, more pterodactyl than bird, echoing prehistoric times. This split fuels debate. Are there two unknown creatures, or is it just confusion in the face of the impossible? Whether feathered or leathery, the Thunderbird is always gigantic, airborne, and out of place in modern biology. Its anatomy is a sketch drawn from awe and fleeting glimpses. The legend persists because the sightings are so consistent and so unbelievable. The Thunderbird is a cryptid that refuses to fit any mold. It's a monster built from fear, wonder, and the unknown. The Thunderbird isn't just big, it's legendary for its thunder-making power. Native legends say thunder is the sound of its wings, lightning the flash of its eyes. Some modern sightings report sudden storms and strange rumbling sounds when the creature appears. Could it really generate its own weather, or is this just myth? The idea of a bird creating thunder elevates it from animal to force of nature. In stories, it's a predator strong enough to hunt whales or even abduct children. Unlike passive cryptids, the Thunderbird is a hunter, a living storm. Its legend is built on power, danger, and awe. Whether literal or symbolic, the thunder-making trait cements its place in folklore. The Thunderbird is more than a bird, it's a living storm cloud with wings. One of the wildest theories? The Thunderbird isn't a bird at all, but a living pterosaur. Pterosaurs like Quetzalcoatlus had wingspans matching Thunderbird reports. The Tombstone account described leathery skin and a reptilian head, classic pterosaur features. Similar legends exist worldwide: Africa's Congamato, Papua New Guinea's Ropin. Could isolated populations of prehistoric flyers have survived extinction? Scientists are skeptical. No fossils, bones, or physical evidence have ever surfaced. The odds are slim, but the eyewitness accounts are strangely specific. The pterosaur theory is sensational, asking us to believe the age of reptiles never truly ended. It's a theory that keeps the mystery alive. The Thunderbird might be a relic from a lost world, or just a legend that refuses to die. In the age of smartphones and satellites, you'd think a giant bird couldn't hide, but sightings persist. Vast, wild regions of North America remain unexplored, perfect for an elusive creature. Since 2011, dozens of reports have emerged around Chicago and Lake Michigan. A giant, black, red-eyed flying creature. Dubbed the Chicago Mothman, these sightings echo classic Thunderbird traits: immense size, dark color, and fearsome presence. Some say it's misidentified herons, eagles, or even drones. Others believe the legend is evolving. Why do these stories endure? Partly, we want to believe in mysteries that defy explanation. The Thunderbird represents the wild, untamed spirit of nature, a reminder that not everything is mapped or explained. It speaks to our sense of adventure and wonder. The legend endures because it keeps the world mysterious. Maybe, just maybe, there are still monsters in the sky. Let's put on our skeptic's hat and examine the evidence. The biggest problem? No physical proof, no feathers, bones, or nests. For a creature this size, a breeding population would leave obvious traces. The Tombstone story is likely a newspaper hoax. The famous photo, a collective false memory. The Lawndale incident could be a case of misidentification and memory distortion. Physics and biology argue against a bird with a 50-foot wingspan. Earth's atmosphere can't support it. Giant pterosaurs lived in a different world. Today, such flight is nearly impossible. Skeptics say the Thunderbird lives in our minds, not our skies, a product of folklore, fear, and misinterpretation. The legend persists because it's a powerful story, not a proven animal. But even skeptics admit, the human mind loves a good mystery. The Thunderbird is a creature of imagination as much as the sky. We've explored myth, history, and eyewitness accounts. So, could the Thunderbird be real? The honest answer, we don't know. Science says it's impossible, but the stories persist. Sincere people keep reporting something enormous and unexplainable in the sky. Dismissing every account feels as arrogant as believing them all. The truth likely lies between fact and folklore. Next time you're outside, look up. Let your imagination wander. What if you saw a silhouette too big to be a hawk, moving with impossible power? The search for the Thunderbird is really a search for wonder. It's about keeping an open mind, and believing the world still holds secrets. Maybe it's just a myth. Or maybe it's still out there, soaring on storm winds. Until then, we'll keep looking up. Stay curious.